All right, folks, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You know the drill. Let's see who is first. Who is first on this day? Who's first? Lakeista is first. Angela Kirkland is second. Gene Coleman, good to see you, Gene. Thank you for joining us as third. Then we have Sarah Stevens, Liberty City's finest and Liberty County's finest is on. Glenda M. Jones, matter of fact, the Honorable Glenda M. Jones is on. Good to see you. Brenda Palmer is on. Good to see Bert Wilder on. Thank you for joining us. Andrea Lynn Hargrove, good to see you. Sending out our hearts to Janet Levine. Thank you for joining us. E. Joyce Paris is on with us every single Friday night. Latasha Jarrett, I am doing well. Good to see Jamila Lupa on. Thank you. Good to see Brother Trey Brizard. Thank you for joining us, sir. Margie Jefferson is on with us, and my mama is on. My favorite girl is on, and I don't know how she found us, but my mama is on. So y'all say hey to my mama. Hey, mama. I know I owe you a call. Please forgive me. Good to see Gloria Latrell Brackford on. The Honorable Tina Day Broughton, the Honorable Councilwoman from Pensacola, Florida is on. Bernice from King County in Washington is on. Good to see Miss Alvernia Jackson. Had a chance to see her last Saturday. Sean Williams is on with us as well. Karina Smith has stepped into the room. Good to see her. Deanna Blige is on. Good to see Marianne Padro. Good to see you. Barbara Pinckney has joined us. Good to see Paulie D from Bluffton. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Allison Blue has joined us. Good to see you, ma'am, from Atlanta, I think. Catherine Grant is on. Good to see you. Sandra Frazier has joined us. Noe, good to see you. Good to see Lydia Stevens on with us. Good to see Net on. I want my book. I want my book, Net. Good to see Faye Law on with us as well, preparing for our next performance. Good to see Barbara Dolores on as well. Good to see Aunt Ollie on. Blessings to you. Tia is on with us. Patty is on from Florida Space Coast. Good to see her. Kathy Bags, I'm happy to see you as well. And Allison says, call my mother. Yes, I will call my mother, Allison. All right, you ain't had to like blow me out like that. I'm gonna call my mama. I'm gonna call. I bet you I'm gonna go see my mama. Um, Catherine Tatum is on. Karen, good to see you, Karen. And everybody saying hello to my mama. Ramona is on. Good to see Gloria Wells on as well. Good to see LaWanda Tillman on. Had a great time. I spoke at the First African Baptist Church this past Sunday. And although Pastor and Sister Tillman were supposed to be um, on like vacation, they showed up. So I got a chance to hang out with them. So good to see you, Sister LaWanda Tillman. And oh, Gloria. Oh, Lord. Gloria Lloyd. I had a Freudian slip. Please forgive me. Good to see Alma Michael on. Thank you for joining us. Mama Marsha is on with us. Greetings. Gloria Smith is on. Good to see Lisa Edwards has joined us. And the Monica Thornton is on with us. So we're always, we bow. We're not worthy. We're not worthy. And we are worried about our environment. Camila has joined us. Thank you for joining us. Lily Reddick is on as well. And of course, Sean J. Christopher on from the A. Good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us, and glad to see you doing big things in the A town. Good to see Catherine is welcoming my mom. Good to see Brother Keith Kimball on as well. Gwen Akins has joined us. Thank you for joining us as well. And Miss Jeanette Jenkins, it is Friday. And Mama Charlotte is on with us. And where you been? We've been looking. I think the child had done. I think she had hid you or something. We were wondering they had to send out the police to do a welfare check on you. And my mama says, "Hey Savannah, I can't get her to come to Savannah, but she says, hey, Savannah. Jennifer says hello. Uh, Sarah wants to set up a meeting with me. Okay, and yes, let's get it set up. Carolyn Bryan, good to see you, Carolyn, as well. And Shauna Kennedy is joining us, and of course, we're giving love to Shauna still. Good to see Richard Dinkins and Joya Dinkins, the family that spends Friday night together, stays together, so we have both of them on. Good to see them, and I still have my flashlight, finally, from 30 years ago. You know when I'm gonna let it go, right? But that's called petty with a small p. Lita, good to see Lita on as well. Lydia Stevens saying hey to my mama, and Karen is as well. And Ms. Tillman, I'm trying my best to make that happen. And Miss Sarah is saying she's the mother of the best mayor. I think she's the mother of the best son. But y'all pray for me. Good to see Miss Diane Jackson on as well. Always good to see her as well. And good to see Michelle and Mr. Bill on. Gerald Wise is on from Pula. Good to see him on. Regina Holloway is on, and I appreciate you, and I claim that with you. And Mama Charlotte is saying hey to my mama. So Sabrina has joined us as well. And of course, Heather B has called. So we got Paulie D and Heather B D on with us as well. We love you all as well. Debbie Williams Walker is on. And so good to see her from wherever she is. And I have to make a ride up your way probably tomorrow. So I'll keep you updated about that. All right. So let me see. 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think I got what I needed. Make sure I got it. Make sure I got what I need. Make sure I got what I need. There we go. All right. Am I planning on reinstating? I don't know. Well, good to see Miss Bernice Tate on. Good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. And yes, I do have a wonderful mother. And good to see Samuel on as well. Angela Kirkland says, hey, mama. And all of you, so glad to have you on. And you know it's Friday night in Savannah. You know it's Friday night somewhere. And you know what we do on Friday. We had Dr. Patricia West go here, and she had a medical situation last week. So we hope that you're better, and you're very welcome for the letter as well. Jessica is on. Happy Friday to you, Jessica. Thank you for joining us. The Honorable Kendra Leona Rove from Brunswick, Georgia. Doing great work down there in Brunswick. Good to have you on, Commissioner Rove, as well. Michael Condon, good to see you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Barbara Pinckney, always good to see you as well. And so you know it's Friday night somewhere. Good to see Carol. Thank you so much. It has been a great week, and here we go. You know what we do every single Friday night. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Why? Because it is Friday Night Live here in Savannah. And you know what we do. We like the page. We share the page. So do me a favor, please. Like the page. Share the page. If you would not mind, like the page. Share the page. Do me that favor. Like this page. Share this page. I noticed that some of y'all, don't like the page. So, I mean, come on. And Shauna got her shingle shot. Hey, Shauna. Now, this is just me and you talking. I got the shingle shot too, but I had the shingles. Shingles is something you don't want. You don't want it. Now, my mother, who raised me, couldn't remember whether I had the chicken pox or not. And so I'm thinking I never had the chicken pox. Well, I got the shingles. Shingles are not what you want. If you are over 50, go ahead and get those 2 shingle shots because you do not want shingles. You don't want them. I thought old people got shingles, and one of my staff members says, because you old. So disrespectful. But, yeah, get that shingle shot. Shauna. Follow through. You don't want the shingles. Good to see Miss Loretta Allen on with us as well. Again, like the page, share the page. And guess what? Guess what? Guess what? It is week number what? 179. Week number 179. We have been together every single Friday for 179 weeks. We have been together every single Friday night for 1,254 days. We have been together every single Friday night for 3 years, 5 months, and 6 days. We have been together every single Friday night for 41 months and 6 days. It is the longest relationship, the longest situationship, the longest entanglement, the longest whatever it is we doing, booing up together here on Friday Night Live, and so grateful for you and all that you all have done to make Friday night the thing happening in Savannah and now across the nation. Across the nation. So yeah, y'all get y'all shingle shots. And thank you, Miss Diane. So we are grateful for you. You all make this happen. 179. 179. So as we do every single Friday night, we want you to go ahead and show love to our girl Tara. So you know we do. Tara love, Tara love, Tara love. We send love to our girl Tara, and we'll have to get her on to check in with her. And so, yeah, Shauna, yeah. I mean, you might feel like crap, but you don't want shingles. Now, fortunately for me, my shingles was like, it started like here on my arm. And I woke up and, I mean, I felt like, it felt like it was like an allergy or something, but it just felt like somebody just was taking pins and sticking it in my arm. And fortunately for me, it went here down my arm and into my hand. And, you know, the bad news for me is that I'm left-handed. And, you know, I'm a musician. And so it was painful, but I played. But fortunately for me, you know, it was a milder case than it can be. I've heard people getting it on their sides. I know people who can't get it on their backs. They can't sit. They can't lay down. I know for the week, over the week I had the shingles, I was sleeping like this. Because in the middle of the night, if my hand went down, I mean, you felt that pain. You don't want shingles. So all of you, if you're over 50, go ahead and get the freaking shingle shot. Yeah, do me a favor, get it, because you don't want that life. So thank you, Miss Catherine. I appreciate that. Go ahead and get that shot. So, you know, the shot, and I mean, after that, I was like, well, I don't ever want it again. And when I heard you can get it again, I went to get the shot. Good to see you, Julie Dinkins. Thank you for joining us. So, a couple of things we want to do, a couple of things we need to do, a lot to talk about tonight. And so glad and thankful you joined us. So, on this past Monday, I qualified to run for re-election as Savannah's mayor. And so I did it exactly at 12 o'clock on Monday. And so I am in the ring, and I have 2 opponents, and game on. It is time. We are ready. We have a story to tell about Savannah's past, Savannah's present, and most importantly, Savannah's future. We have a story to tell of progress and perseverance. We have a story to tell about a community that is resilient and is making fundamental and historical investments in things like affordable housing and homelessness prevention, how we're working to make communities better, how even in spite of our recent crime issues, we still have historically low crime and our lowest tax rate in 35 years. I have a story to tell, so I'm in the ring. I'm in it to win it. I'm going hard in the paint for this city, and so get ready, get ready, get ready. It is going to rain here in this community, talking about the positive story that I have to tell about this community. So game on. And you know, the fact is that I'm going to keep it to issues, but don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Remember, don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Let's keep it on principle. Let's keep it on policy. Let's not make it about people. Let's not make it about people. So go ahead, do me a favor, help me out. Here is a quick commercial. Go ahead and like this page for me, please. This is where we're pushing out information about this movement that includes all of you. I did not do this all by myself. You all allowed me to serve you at one of the most consequential times in our city's history, and I am indeed grateful to you for allowing me to serve, and I am asking you to allow me to serve another another 4 years, and I can't do it without you. So if you're not going to ride this with me, then that's it. I mean, then we won't do it. But we are going in hard, and it is what it is. This is number 6, my 6th election for me. And so here I am, my 6th election, and my last one for city government. And I'm not new to this. I can keep it professional. I can keep it on issues, and I trust that those that are listening, because I know they listen, y'all need to keep it. Y'all need to keep it professional too. Have some dignity and do your best to keep it level. Keep it level. Don't our citizens deserve dignified, privileged conversations, even if disagreeing. But to just don't try us. Don't try us. So in that, I need your help. Again, I told you, I'm trying to raise $1 million if I can, because again, we're going to make sure we have everything we need to get this story out there. So Tam Reeves is on, and she's been going hard in the paint, and you're going to see Tam's work over the next every single day. We're just going to be pushing out all kinds of stuff. And thank you, Sister Diane. We do want you to pray for us. Pray for us. Good to see Desiree on. And so this is Gwen is on with us. It is $5 Friday. If you can, $5 Friday. We would love for you to make a contribution for $5 Friday. Now you can do more than $5, but we would love for you to help us. We know that visions need financing. We know that missions need financing. We know that signs cost. We know that canvassing costs. We know that billboards and TV and radio, direct mail, we know all of those things cost. Good to see Dr. Priscilla Williams. Good to see Coach Cassell Bell on with us as well. And so, Coach, is Reigns playing tonight? You hadn't told us. So my mama raised me right, and since she raised me right, I'm going to act dignified, and but don't do me. Don't do me. Don't do me. Oh my. So that's all I'm saying. Y'all work with me, okay? Y'all work with me. Y'all work with me. So you can send the money, Miss Diane. I'll just put this here. Reigns is winning in the third quarter in Jacksonville. You can put it right there, and we would love for you to make donations. Again, no donation is too small. I had a lady put $1 in my hand, and she said, "Just go ahead and buy yourself a soda while you're out there on the campaign trail." I appreciate that. Again, it's thank you, Miss Bernice. I appreciate that. Tabitha, good to see you. As Commissioner Rose says, register to vote. Check your registration. Right now, we have early voting going on for the District 2 County Commissioner race. Go ahead and make sure that you are registered to vote if you're in that district. Make sure that your registration is solid, because they are removing people from the rolls for inactivity. So go ahead and do that. We are, again, very, very appreciative for all of you for that. So that's the first thing. Yesterday, big day. Well, let me go back. So COVID is back. People are getting sick, and our numbers are going up. We've probably gone up about 56. No, Ivy, you can make a donation, Ivy. Matter of fact, you haven't made a donation yet. I'm going to tell Terry Mobley that you had not made a donation to the campaign. She's going to be very disappointed in you. But COVID is back, and we need to make sure we're doing what we can to make sure that we're safe. Um, let's not be stupid, okay? About this. We have to make sure that we're doing what we can um, about being safe in all of this. So it's this one is not as deadly. This variant is not as deadly, but it is more contagious, and so people are getting sick, and so I bust out my mask again, been sporting my mask because I'm not trying to get sick around y'all. So make sure you go back to the things we got us through this for you. Washing your hands, certainly keep your distance. And I mean, lately, folks just want to be talking in my face. And I'm like, personal space. Give me some space. Um, and make sure you protect your kids as well. And please, parents, if your kids are sick, keep them home. Keep them home. You know your kid is sick when you send your kid to school, and your kid comes there and gets his classmates or her classmates and their teachers sick. If you know your child's not feeling well, please, ma'am and sirs, keep them home. Good to see Miss Ernestine on with us as well. And I do not know, Shauna, but there are free COVID tests still around. And if you need one, let me know. And good to see Miss Julia Carter on with us. And we always give her love when she gets on. So y'all give Miss Julia Carter some love. Always happy to see her. And Alicia is on with us. Always good to see her. So, yeah, keep your sick home. Um, and thank you, Janet. Janet has, we have one less homeless woman. She got 72-year-old Renee on a bus back to her family. And she got there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Um, and so, yeah, it's going on. Good to see Miss Edna on. Always good to see you. And always good to see our friend and our brother. Um, Good to see our friend and brother Monia from Ruin Thai, and always a great place to go. Um, that's right, we did have Friday Night Live mask. I gotta find out what I did with that. So good to see Evelyn Trapio on as well. So I wanted to get that out. Last night, um, you have those times where you have those defining moments. Good to see you, Emma. And last night was one of them. In the city of Savannah, Georgia, we had not um, named a square. In the city of Savannah, there were 24 original squares. We had 22 left, and then we added Yamacraw Square from Yamacraw Park. So we had 22. And we had 23. And in 140 years, the city of Savannah had not named a square. Last night, this city council named the square formerly known as Calhoun Square as Taylor Square in honor of Susie King Taylor. And that is a monumental moment in the history of our 290-year-old city. In one fell swoop, this city council named one of its cherished squares in honor of not only the first person of color, but also the first woman. And it was a defining moment, certainly for me, certainly for the council. And that was something that was really significant. Susie King Taylor was a third generation enslaved person who had remarkable impacts on our area. Susie King Taylor was taught to read and write and count, although it was illegal to teach black people from learning to read, write, and count. Susie King Taylor joined the Union forces and worked for the Confederate forces as a nun. As a nurse. Um, and she made a huge impact here in the Savannah area. And it is a turning point in our city's history when we were able to make that happen. Um, and so it is now called Taylor Square. Um, John C. Hey, Paul, good to see you. Good to see Regina. Thank you for joining us, Regina. Uh, and, for us, it was time that women who've contributed so much to our city had a square named after them. It was time that people of color who have contributed so much to our city um, had a square named after them. And in both cases, we were able to do both. It's not only important to make history, it is also important to make sense. And in this, we were able to do both. John C. Calhoun lived from 1782 to 1850. He was born in South Carolina, lived in South Carolina. He was a U.S. vice president. He was a secretary of war. He served in the House of Representatives. He was in the Senate, but he was a staunch advocate and defender of slavery. John C. Calhoun does not reflect who Savannah was and who Savannah is now, nor who we want Savannah to be. And a person like John C. Calhoun did not deserve, in my mind, a place of honor in one of our squares. We will maintain his name in the historical context to talk about the time that the square was named for him, but more importantly, why we removed his name. And so we are excited about that. Barbara Kaufman is checking in from another state, but she is wearing her Friday Night Live t-shirt. So thank you. Good to see Michael Dickens on. That's right. Shannon McAdams was in city council meeting. She didn't bring nothing. She cooked, but she did witness that history, and we were so happy that happened. Terry Mobley, good to see you as well. Sometimes when you have the opportunity to make a difference, you make the difference. And so at least 140 years from now, people will ask about Susie King Taylor. And Hermina, who is the authorized expert of Susie King Taylor, I'm going to get her to come on to talk about the life of Susie King Taylor. Whoa! Dr. Bertice Berry has joined us, and y'all show some love for her. Y'all know she had been a little under the weather, and so we're always glad to have our resident uh, expert on everything on. Always glad to see Dr. Bertice Berry. But we appreciate that, and good to see you, Justin. Thank you. Justin, I heard you were leaving us, man. We got to talk about that. So, anyway, so Dizzy, Montana, you try to open a restaurant. Just call our office, man. I'm going to give you, our office is, we're there like every single day. Like every day, except Saturdays and Sundays. So we're not hard to get in contact with, Dizzy. Give us a call. So we were very happy about that. Oh, and all rise. The Honorable Bishop Jacqueline Gilbert Grant has entered as well. Good to see, Bishop. Glad that you are doing well. Good to see Lisa on. Good to see Spencer Ellis White III on as well. But we have moved beyond it. Ruel Francis, good to see us. It is important for us to make sure that we stand in history, but we're not suffocated by our history. When Savannah was founded, it was never thought that someone who looked like me would be able to serve this city in the capacity of mayor. As late as the 1960s, we did not have anyone of color serving us on council. And yet again, where women are really showing themselves, it was time for us to tell the story, and I am so happy that we were able to do that. And we had some great names, and I was really impressed by the names. And we're going to really start telling the story of other people. You know, Abbott Square, John Sinstack Abbott, who was from Savannah, and he was the founder of the Chicago Defender. Casey Square, Creek Square, that really looked at the contributions of the Creek and the Craw Native Americans that were here before Oglethorpe ever got here. DeVoe Square, George Lyle, who was the forerunner and predecessor of First African Baptist Church, the oldest African American congregation in North America. Robert Fennell had a great suggestion about Hostess City of the South Square, and basically had each of the quadrants of the square to be able to represent a different century in Savannah's history. Major Clayton Carpenter Square. Major Clayton Carpenter died here in the line of duty flying an aircraft, and he landed the aircraft as to save lives while losing his own. The Seven Sisters that talked about, that were the mothers of historic preservation here in this city. Certainly Wesley Square, of John Wesley, who was so prominent in the Methodist movement. And then of course W.W. Law, who everyone loves and reveres. I mean, he was so significant here. Again, great names, great opportunities for us to be able to recognize these names. And so we all learned at a time in which people are trying to keep people silent about history. No, we should be talking more about history and uncovering those stories of those unsung heroes and those unsung heroines, you know, that are helping to make our city what it is. I was so glad in my first term on council, I was able to work to be able to bring about a situation, working with the council and Mayor Floyd Adams and Alderman Clifton Jones at the time, where we were able to recognize the Haitian people who in 1789, free Haitians came over from Haiti to help the Americans in the Revolutionary War. Free Haitians came over here from St. Mark, Haiti, and they helped with the American soldiers fighting the British in the American Revolution. And they helped us to win our independence. And for years, this story had never been told. And yet now we have a monument to the Haitian people in Franklin Square. Good to see Pastor Thurman Tillman. Again, I thanked you earlier, sir, for allowing me to be in your pulpit this past Sunday. Great time, always a great reception, always happy to come to First African. And again, thank you for allowing me to speak. Good to see Charlinda Warner. Charlinda is our lupus warrior. She is our lupus queen. She is fighting lupus. She has lupus. Lupus does not have her. So I'm going to go ahead and put a purple heart out there for Charlinda and all of those who are dealing with this horrible disease called lupus. So I'm going to put 4 hearts out there for Charlinda as well. Ernestine, that's right, Parent University tomorrow at Beach High School. We appreciate Parent University and looking forward to all of you with that. So big day about that. Yes, good to see you. Dennis, thank you for joining us. But here in Savannah, we have named a square after a woman of color, and we have named a square, well, after a woman and after a woman of color, and an enslaved person. And we're starting to tell the story that Savannah and the creation of Savannah was the composite contribution of a whole bunch of folks. And we're learning about those stories. I'm going to make sure to have Hermina Glass Hill on to educate people about Susie King Taylor and what she is and what she did, and particularly why she means so much to this community. And we will be able to name a square after someone who would have never thought that in what she was doing, that over 100 years later, 100 years later, that somebody would think enough of her to be able to name a square after her. In the midst of everything she sacrificed, being able to learn to read when you are not supposed to know how to read, knowing how to do math when you're not supposed to do math, learning how to count when you're not supposed to count. Yet this lady was able to do this. And so we now have a square named after this unsung hero named Susie King Taylor. And we want to create opportunities for people to know about her contributions, and know why she was significant to us and to our community. And we will have the chance to be able to tell that story and tell that story of Susie King Taylor. And so I'm excited that we will have that chance to do that. So I know I've been talking a lot about it. This was a very long process, but we wanted to make sure we did it right. It was 5 months. We had 300 inquiries. We ended up with well over 15 names, and then I went from 15. We had the Park and Tree Commission. We had the Historic Sites and Monuments Commission. They held hearings, and then City Council made the final decision. And so that is the significant part in this. And, it's definitely a great opportunity for our community. And so, again, I'm just so grateful to what our community meant, what this meant. And it's important. It is important. Susie King Taylor was born in 1848. And she did write a book, and so I'm gonna make sure I get Hermina Glass Hill on to talk about what she did. And I wonder if if her family, if she has family members that are around as well. We have to seek those things out, and so we're gonna talk about what she meant. She is enshrined in the Library of Congress. So, but anyway, we'll talk more about that. So, everybody, thank y'all. Hey, Joe, good to see you. Everybody sending love to Charlinda and everyone out there dealing with lupus. So, thank you very much. Danny, yes, sir. Going live every single Friday night. This is week number 179. Every single Friday night, we've been making it happen here. So, thank you all so much, and I appreciate that. So, I think that was all I wanted to talk about. So this is your turn. Anything you want to talk about? Of course, it is Friday, $5 Friday, and again, we would love for you to make a contribution if you can. If you can't, we certainly understand, and we love you anyway. No worries. But we recognize that we have to finance this mission. Good to see the Honorable Linda Wilder Bryan from District 3 on the Savannah City Council. My road dog, my battle buddy, good to see you on as well. And Laura Smith has finally got up. She had her old lady nap, she calls it. Laura, you should have set your alarm. You knew we were getting together at 9 o'clock, and you should have set your alarm to be here. So One demerit for Laura because Debbie was looking for you. Um, she couldn't find you. Also, big ups and congratulations to the Honorable Glenda M. Jones. Uh, the Honorable Glenda M. Jones is now the newest member of the Chatham County Board of Elections. And she is a staunch and loyal member of Friday Night Live. And we are so happy for her. We're so proud of her. Congratulations to the Honorable Glenda M. Jones. So she is a part of a political dynasty in Savannah. Her mother, the late Ernestine Jones, served on the Board of Elections. Her father is the legendary Alderman Clifton Jones Jr., who served as a 5th District Alderman for many years. And so we're so proud of her. Molly has joined us. Good to see you, Molly. And Georgette, I'm glad you finally let your mama come on as well. So it's time for your questions. If you have questions, of course, we open the lines up for you to ask any questions you want to know about your city or things going on in your city. I have some big announcements coming up this week. Great things happening in the world's greatest city. And so we're looking forward to, pushing these announcements out. And so you have questions, go ahead and ask them, and we'll go ahead and get them answered. Anything you want to know about? They're sending out love to Shalinda, and they are also congratulating Glenda. And we all can't fit in that room, Glenda, but we are all with you. And so we will be working on our next Friday night live get together. And so we're working on that. So as soon as Glenda gets finished, basking in her adoration, we're going to go ahead and get that set up. Linda Wilder Bryan, no, great job to us. Justin, if you want to donate, we would love that, Justin. Thank you. That's the link right there. We would love for you to donate to that. I would appreciate it. Again, campaigns cost money, and so we're going to raise the necessary money to make sure that we are able to tell the story, and we're going to tell the story all over the place. We're not going to get dirty because we don't have to get dirty. We're not going to get in the dirt because we don't have to get in the dirt. We're here, and when we're here, we don't have to go down here. And so we're going to be the campaign that talks about ideals, but more importantly, going to talk about facts and pull some receipts. And we always keep receipts. And so we're not going to deal in gaslighting or fear mongering. We have a story to tell in this city. Good to see Dolores Simmons has joined us, and Sadie Campbell. Miss Sadie Campbell, she is on vacation. She is 99 years old. She is our eldest, most senior, most seasoned Friday Night Live. Everybody, y'all go ahead and go to her comments, and let's go ahead and give Miss Sadie some love. We are always happy when Miss Sadie joins us. She works Facebook better than most of us do. We are always glad to be with Miss Sadie, and we are counting down to the big 100th birthday celebration with our lady, our queen lady, Miss Sadie Campbell. Thank you so much for being on with us today. My re-election office is located 1510 Drayton Street, 1510 Drayton Street, 1510 Drayton Street. Miss Annette, if you inbox us, we will get you a yard sign. Also, we have magnets to go on the back of your car. We know y'all don't like those bumper stickers, but we have magnets to go in the back of your car. I would be so honored if you would get a Van Johnson magnet to go on the back of your car to support us in this campaign. Um, is there anything we can do about gun control? Good question. And so um, I've been an advocate of common sense gun laws. I'm not for taking guns out of anybody's hands that should legally have them, but I do think that people who should not have guns should not have guns. This week, I talked about the fact that already in Savannah in 2023, 186 guns were stolen out of cars. 186 guns were stolen. 150 some odd of those guns were stolen from cars that were unlocked. So it's an issue here of gun irresponsibility. And so these guns that are stolen from cars that are not locked find their way onto crime scenes. Tomorrow, there are two parents in this community that are burying their kids. The illegal guns are there. I have no issue with legal guns in the hands of legal owners. But in these cases, I'm introducing a city ordinance to do two things. First thing is to require that people report their gun stolen within 24 hours of them discovering that the gun was lost or stolen. Because most times people who know the gun is stolen never report it. Well, we don't know what we're looking for. The second thing is that if you have a gun is a trust. And if we find that you irresponsibly or fail to maintain control of your gun, then we're going to hold you responsible for it. If you have a gun in plain sight sitting in your car or underneath a seat or not in a locked container or your door is unlocked, then you're irresponsible. Now, if people break in your car and it's locked and put away and they got to it, but then what's the purpose of having the gun if the gun is in your car? If the gun is supposed to be for your protection, the gun should be on you. So I'm just saying, if the gun is more in your car than it is on you, then you don't need the gun. And so there are ways to properly secure your gun, and we need to create a huge education campaign. I want to get that 180 some odd number down to 0. And so that's what we're trying to do. Sonia Campbell is on. She says that Connecticut is in the house. What part of Connecticut, Sonia? Keith Kimball has a magnet on his vehicle. Sonia, let us know. We will get you one. Inbox me. Stoney! My beautiful niece, Cheyenne Stoney, is on. And she rocks her uncle's shirts, and I appreciate her for that. Appreciate that. And Dr. Patricia West is trying to sneak out early. No. I only got 10 more minutes left. Linda Kelly is being the sweetheart she is, and she's giving a friend a ride home. And Barbara is letting somebody know, thank you very much. Won't it deter them from reporting if they could possibly face penalties? Maybe, but we have to show people we're serious. If they're not reporting, I mean, the fact is that you know your gun was stolen. You might know your car was broken into. And you reported the car was broken into, but you didn't report the gun was stolen. Well, we found the gun, and we realized you didn't report it stolen. Well, that's an issue. That's an issue. So, yeah. All right, so Sonia's in New Haven, Connecticut. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, wow. So now we have, so let me tell you what happened. So Dr. Bertice Berry, because I know it was her, she went and got the Susie King Taylor expert, Hermina Glass Hill on. And so I want to get you on, Hermina, soon when you get a chance. I want you to talk about the life of Savannah's new heroine, Susie King Taylor, who now will have a square in the hostess city of the South, in Georgia's first city, in Georgia's first capital. In 2023, the first square named for a person of color, the first square named for a woman, the first square named for a formerly enslaved person. So we got a lot of questions for you about that. So when your booking agent will allow me to get you on, let me know, and we'll get you on. So what questions you got? What's on your heart? It's been hot out there. It's been disrespectfully hot out there. So make sure you're staying cool. The tropics have been really, really jacked up. All right, so Hermina has agreed. She says Susie King Taylor is the heroine of freedom. What year did Susie King Taylor die? How old was she? And was she ever married? Did she have children? I mean, since you're on here, I might just go ahead and ask that question. I want to know, when did she die? How old was she when she died? And was she ever married? And did she have any children? And I guess she was married because I guess Susie King something. So, yeah, Fonnie Willis, yes. All right, so Sonia, Sarah Stevens' family is in Windsor, Connecticut. My family is in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So, good to see Joyce Glover Snyder on. Thank you so much for joining us. Always glad to have you on as well. And again, it's $5 Friday. Love to have you in the $5 club. $5 gets to buy something. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us to feed volunteers. It helps us to get our message out. We have to do what we can do. And Joe, you're absolutely right. Michelle and Mr. Bill, they are going to Cape Springs. So you be safe. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you. Y'all be safe and as well. And Camila used to work in Bridgeport. All right. And Sonia's been teaching school in Bridgeport. Georgette says she got 5 on it. Well, if you got 5 on it, then let's see your donation, Georgette. Put 5 on it. Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth. Fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth. Fifth. Put 5 on it. Fifth. 5 on it. All right. What questions you have? Any questions? Anything out there you want to know about your city? I had some very good. Okay. See, here goes expert. Susie King Taylor died in 1912 at 64 years of age. She had one son who died as a result of medical apartheid in Shreveport, Louisiana. Okay, so let me ask you another question. Where is she buried? Is she buried? I want to know where she's buried. So, but we're going to make this a big thing. And Hermina, just know when we have our program, I'm going to have you as the expert to speak about that. So we're looking forward to you coming on. I mean, what a great honor. What a great honor for this community that little boys and little girls don't have to just learn about slavery and enslaved people in schools. They can learn about this in their city. Moreover, more importantly, that although people were enslaved, they lived in slavery. They didn't live slavery, and that there were people who were enslaved that did magnificent things, and we're able to tell those stories of those individuals. Margarita is late. All right, Margarita, I guess we'll let you in. But yeah, we have to tell that story. We have to tell the stories. We have to, as we know better, we have to start doing better and expanding our history because Savannah and America is a melting pot. It is a mixture and combination of all of these things, all of these stories. Dr. Bertice Berry talks about the importance of stories and storytelling and telling the story. And so, we have to tell those stories. And so, That's what we are looking forward to, telling those stories. And so I'm waiting on um, her to tell the story. I'm waiting for Hermina Glass Hill. Tell us right quick. Um, is she buried in Savannah? Hey, Miss Banks, you doing all right? I heard you might have been in an accident, so I was just checking to make sure you all right. All right, there we are. So she is buried in Boston, Massachusetts. She just got a headstone in 2021 um, after more than 160 years. And so I'm going to make it my business after we name this square. I'm going to make a trip to Boston and I'm going to lay flowers at the grave of Susie King Taylor on behalf of the city of Savannah. I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to make that pilgrimage because, um, you know, wow, um, this lady who died at 65 years old, um, you know, what a story. She died in 1912, so over 110 years later, she is getting her due, and so I'm going to help make that happen, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go there, and we're going to make sure that we pay respects to the final resting place of Susie King Taylor. There's a school named here after her, but I want to make sure that we symbolically pay homage that we did not. Well, you're right. Um, she died a pauper, so we want to do that. Um, Sonia Sonia says, Hermina, that her resting place is Mount Hop Cemetery in Roslindale, Massachusetts. So um, you could tell me. Um, you could tell me. So you could tell me. You could tell me. Um, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I'm looking. Okay, yeah. So she is in Mount Hope. She's in Mount Hope Cemetery. Um, so we're going to do that, and I want to do that after we name the square Susie King Taylor Square. We're going to figure out a way to connect that. So um, we're going to tie, and we're going to proclaim a day in which we're going to ask our schools, just like we teach schools the about Georgia Day. I'm going to ask the superintendent of schools that we designate a day for elementary schools and high schools in this community. Um, well, all schools in this community, um, spend a day teaching about Susie King Taylor. That is how you tell the story. So, um, looking forward to it. Any other questions? Any other things you want to know about? Thank you, Dr. Bertice Berry. I know you got Hermina on, so thank you. And again, I'm looking forward to having Hermina on to talk about that. And you know what, Dr. Berry, you kind of overdo yourself, so we have to get you on to share your wisdom about everything um, as well. But any questions about this? Uh, I want you to know I hate campaigning. I hate campaigning. I hate that whole process. But people hate pregnancy, but they love the baby. I hate campaigning, but I love serving, and so you have to go through the process before you get to the result. And so I am looking forward to the result, and I'm looking forward to the next 9 weeks, and I'm looking forward to creating ways of, of telling the story of Savannah, a story of a city that spent 3 years in a pandemic and has emerged stronger than ever. The story of a city who did not have an affordable housing plan, but now is leveraging millions of dollars a year in affordable housing, telling the story of a city that has made unprecedented improvements in homelessness and roofless neighbors, are now on the verge of finishing infrastructure completion on 50 cottages for people who are homeless or roofless to be able to live. To tell the story of having the best paid police officers in this region, telling the story of historically low crime, telling the story of the lowest property taxes since since 1930. I mean, I'm sleepy. In 35 years, we're going to tell the story. 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 So, I would love to get Lauryn Hill I would love to give Lauryn Hill and Fugees to the in-market arena. I think the question is, will Lauryn Hill show up? That's what I've heard was going on. So, Sean, I do not know. Allison, yay, Allison. Go Savannah. I agree. I agree. And we appreciate you all and what you all do. So make sure you're engaged, make sure you're ready, make sure you're prepared for the season which is to come. Make sure you're ready to vote, because if you don't vote, you can't complain, right? So.
COVID is that.
Anything else?
Leading to make sure.
All right, let me see. Mercedes says Barbara Pinkney is the mother of the groom. All right. And Joe wants Sade at the end market. And Linda, I'm only as good as those who are out there working with me, and I'm blessed to have you right there with us. You have an amazing heart. So I see y'all ain't got no questions, but it was a good week, and we're ready to move on to see what the end is going to be. So thank you all so much for joining us on Friday Night Live. We look forward to see you next week. Tam Reeves, thank you for behaving. Thank you for behaving. And yes, I'm going to try to get some sleep, but a really busy day tomorrow and Sunday. I'll get some rest as soon as this election is over, and as soon as we tell the story of Savannah, and as soon as we leave. No doubt that we are Savannah Strong. Thank you all so much, and good night.